So just few words about myself, and inshallah we'll get to know you all in next kind of less than little over 1 week, right? So my name is Farid Ahmed. I had a PhD in electrical engineering, have been doing some work in the computer science area, cryptography, cybersecurity, signal processing, pattern recognition, and yes, a little bit of AI. Matter of fact, my PhD work, which was in the area of pattern recognition, we'll see today that is in the broad area of machine learning, which is in the broader area of AI, artificial intelligence. So I did some work in the pattern recognition area. And as part of my work at Johns Hopkins University Applied Physics Lab, where I am employed now, I also teach a course on digital forensics. And in that course, we spent 2 weeks on actually AI. How can AI be used in forensic applications? So in that, I usually go through some of the machine learning algorithm classification, supervised, unsupervised. Some of you may be familiar with those. And even if not, this hackathon will let us, inshallah, do precisely that. So again, I do not consider myself as a technologist in really getting the coding level, but I do code. I used to code, but I consider myself at this moment as an AI enthusiast. Inshallah, I'm really excited to work with you, and we'll learn the technology together, as I said. So let me, so what I'll do today is again, I understand, I believe this is the first session of this hackathon workshop. Am I right, Dr. Mustafiz? Or anyone, right? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so that means I can say anything actually. I can say that. No, I'll not say any. So, inshallah, what do you expect today? So, inshallah, I will go over some overarching issue that as a Muslim kid, as a Muslim youth, as a Muslim man, how should we take this technology and how can we leverage it to the best of our own daily life as well as the community issues that this hackathon is about, right? And inshallah, we'll look at some opportunities, some of the challenges the people have to deal with, especially as Muslim. I think we have more responsibility in making sure this is used in the proper way, right? So those are some of the things I will be, inshallah, going through. A few more words on myself. So currently I'm also associated with an organization called AIIT. You can say it is a combination of AI and IT. Actually, it stands for American Institute of Integrated Thought. So the idea of integrated thought is precisely what you are dealing with in this hackathon. This is a technology. How best you can use this for Muslim cause, for Islamic cause, for dawah, right? For spreading the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given us this gift. So that's really the integration. We want to integrate our belief, our faith with the technology, right? So as part of that, inshallah, I am engaged in some of these activities, analyzing the emerging technologies. It could be AI, cryptocurrency, and things like that. Again, how best we can use that. So with that, let me try to share. Mustafa, if you can give me the permission, inshallah, to share the screen. We will start with, I think it is that thing. Do I have? Okay, yeah. So that should be number 2. Okay. Let me set it up. Okay, so again, as I said, we're looking at this is Muslim Youth AI, or whatever name you can name it. Look at some of the opportunities and challenges. Okay. So I really think, again, this is, by the way, inshallah, we'll have some time to interact, but even beyond that, anytime if you have any pressing question, comment that it cannot wait, please jump in. I don't know whether I can actively monitor the chat, but just shout out, okay? That should be okay. So I think this is really one of the signs, one of the ayah in the Quran that motivated me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَسَخَّرَ لَكُم مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا مِّنْهُ إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. Right? So whatever is in the samawat and earth, all together from him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made those subservient to us. So this is actually more than gift. So if you give a gift to a kid, a toy, right? I mean, he will play a little bit here and there and then just forget about it. But Allah's toys, Allah's gift is something that you can actually discover more hidden treasure in that, and you can make use of it. You can make lot of use of it, and you can make lots of toys, lots of gifts, right? That is precisely the sakkara. The word sakkara means it is under your control, and Allah has given you the gift to use that control in a proper way. And that's why the second part of the ayah is inna fi dhalika laayatin liqaumin yatafakkarun. Indeed, there is science, there is lesson, there is teaching in that for the people who do actively think about it. Fikr, right? So inshallah, again, that is the mindset we are approaching AI. This is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have to use it. We have to apply our thought intelligence, inshallah. So don't forget that. I think I will end up with that as well. And then I will start with a survey just to see. Again, I know all of you are very much into it, but just to distill some of the, where is the chat box? Okay. If you can start taking the survey right now, I put it in the chat box. Just click on it and just spend next 2 minutes. It should not take more than 2 minutes. I think there are five or six questions, just to see where we stand, basically, right? So in the meantime, let me just set it up for. So we'll just take 2 minutes, not more than two. Okay, I think, or 3 minutes, inshallah, 2:18. And anyone, if you have any issue getting access to the link, please shout out again. So after that survey, let me give a pause. I'll just let you go through the survey a little bit. Again, one of the objective today is to really, how do we approach this technology, and how do we approach this hackathon competition? What mindset? And definitely we'll talk about some of the technologies, some of the problem areas that are in line with the problem statement that I believe you all have access to. So let me get to that. Oops. This. Okay. Oops. Okay. Okay, so I see, I think no one is having any issue. I can just quickly wrap up this. And again, the objective of this survey is to see where we stand as a group. I think this is kind of predictable, but I still would like to see. I think we have got more than half of the responses. Just will be waiting one more minute, inshallah. And again, after the survey, those who might have come late just in last 2 minutes, there is, I think you should have access to the chat box. There is a link for a survey if you can start taking this. So right after the survey, we'll get to know some definition, buzzwords, some of the typical AI tasks that might help you or might be related to the problem statement. And again, this is just breaking the ice today. And then finally, we'll do some brainstorming and then the trust and ethical issues. Inshallah. Oh, one more thing before I do that. So some of you may know me as we have been doing some cool summer program as part of that high school research internship. I understand some of you might be interested in continuing your My Hack work. So this today's discussion might be very useful for those also, but hopefully it will be useful for all. All right. Okay. I think let's stop right here because we have to cover something before that. Let me just go over the responses we got so far, and we'll just look at this together. Oh, come on. Okay. Okay. The first question is, what is your perception and possibility of the possibilities and limitations of AI? Most of you said AI has made a lot of my tasks much easier. I think that is the main thrust of this AI because of the productivity enhancement, because of the automation. Just like, I mean, if we are in the Zoom session and there is an AI companion. I just tried couple of last few times, and it actually comes up with a pretty good set of meeting notes, right? So that way, I mean, there are a lot of daily activities that we can do it very easily. And you say AI can be harnessed. So that is a futuristic, which is really good to tackle complex global challenges. And in this hackathon, we are also, inshallah, dealing with some of the community and global challenges. So that futuristic view is also good. Okay, alhamdulillah, I think those two are really important. And then which of the following best describes your AI usage? It has just started, right? So most of you are saying, I am a casual user of AI. Good. I mean, you are in the right place because you are casual user and because you know it can be harnessed for solving global problems. And because you acknowledge that, yeah, it has the potential to make things easier, inshallah, we can get to the next step, right? All what we have to do is okay, so some of you are also end user, and okay, so I don't see any yellow. So that would be what this hackathon would inshallah lead you to. After this, inshallah, you will be learning something more. You will be getting more inspiration to be aspiring professional developer of AI tools, right? That is our objective, inshallah, to solve our Muslim youth problem. Good to see 10% of you. I'm not sure if I am using AI. That is also correct. I mean, I asked this question in another conference, and I saw a lot more in that camp because it is there. It is slowly and surreptitiously just intruding our life. So, what you are using? So, I'm not sure. I like that answer also. Yeah. Okay, so that's the scenario. Which of the following best describes your position in trusting AI? So that is one of the concern, one of the limitation. Again, I will not be going through all these, but I think just going through this, it tells the story actually. So the majority of you are saying there are issues of distrust which I think can be alleviated. Good. That's the positive attitude, inshallah. But that will not come easily. You have to, from Muslim ethical point of view, moral point of view, from fairness point of view, because we'll see one of the aspect of this lack of trust is really, they say AI is not AI is biased. It is not fair, and we'll see there are many reasons of biasness. Um, so there are issues of distrust. But can anyone tell at this moment what is one reason that AI is said to be biased? Anyone? Or why we cannot trust? Or why 52% of you say that there are issues of distrust, but it can be alleviated? So what are the major reasons of the distrust? Anyone? Okay. Yeah, shout out. You unmute and then shout out if you like. But we'll just move forward, inshallah. And again, if you want to say something in the chat box, feel free. So no, I do not trust AI system. Okay, again, 10%, more than 10% say, but inshallah. So you are also in good situation. That means you have to be vocal. You have to come forward with why not, right? Either you have to convince the other camp that, hey, this is why I do not. So take care of those, then I'll be in your camp. Or you have to join in their camp, right? Okay. And also, yeah, there are issues of distrust which I think can only get worse from here. Yeah, I think, I personally think some of those things can be in that category, especially something that is very close to my heart, which is the misinformation, disinformation, right? The fake news, fake video, and AI actually can come up with a lot of fake things, right? So it might get worse, the misinformation, disinformation, at least in the near future. But then there has to be some safety valve. There has to be something. Right? Sorry, again, I do not want to make it a monologue. When I ask some question, jump in, or even without that, jump in. I like to know the audience is not AI audience, not artificial audience. Okay? I hope this is a real audience. All right. You're not artificial, right? Hello? Come on. Okay. So I challenge someone to just say you are not artificial. Are you artificial? This is something which okay, not yet. Okay, I like that answer also. Not yet. Yeah, I mean the way we are being AI-fied, I think yeah, I like that answer. Okay. And again, shout out as well. Okay, regarding empowering Muslim causes through AI, I believe this is one of the two themes of the problem statements. Sorry, I may not have access to the last revision. Which of the following you agree with? Okay, so regulations must be enforced. Okay, makes sense because there are some issues of distrust, fairness. So agree with that. You have to come forward. Muslims should take leading role in shaping AI landscape. Yes, sure, inshallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help the Muslims, you and I, to do that, I would say. Okay, I think that's again that shows where we stand. There are some concerns. There are good things but whether we like it or not, it is there, and we have to get to that. Um, all right. This is something, there is a organization called Gartner. They do technology research. So again, they come up with, for any new technology, they come up with something they call hype cycle, right? And this looks like this. So initially, I mean, there are a lot of hype. So this is the peak of hype, right? AI engineering, peak of inflated expectation. And in reality, because it is hype, there is inflated expectation. There are a lot people, okay, AI can solve all the problems, right? AI is the guy, right? It's so that's the expectation. But then they say there are some reality check, and this is true for most of the technologies. There are some reality checks. Not all the assumptions are true. Not all the boundary conditions are true. So there is a trough of disillusionment or disappointment, right? But then there comes some other helping hand, like for some technology, this valley was due to the computing power. Yeah, theoretically it makes sense, but there is no computing power. But we know with the cloud computing, with supercomputing, with distributed computing, that problem is no longer there. So then they see the light again. So eventually, the technology there is a plateau. Okay, so you can see with this, there is where is generative AI. So generative AI, they say the peak expectation, according to Gartner, yeah, the peak has reached. Now we are going through some reality check for generative AI, the AI that can generate things, cook up things, and then you see edge AI. I believe the 3 o'clock presentation by Dr. Hassan is on edge AI. So this is another area which is the AI that we'll be talking about, generative AI, that needs lot of computation power, lot of the cloud resources, AWS, Google, all the Microsoft, right? Big player need to be involved to do something, right? So when you run your model, you are running it in a cloud, and a lot of computers are working together, a lot of algorithms working in parallel, in tandem to solve your problem. But for the IoT type of things, your refrigerator in the kitchen, or your bike, right? That if you want to make it AI-able, that has to reduce the dependency on those cloud computing because it is at the edge, right? So that is the edge AI. Again, you will hear from Dr. Hassan today. So again, I think this is good to know. In general, you don't know, have to know all of this. In general, this is a pattern of any new technology, kind of. Okay, so you have to know where do you stand. You have to know why, what takes from one point to another point, right? Okay. Another question. Alhamdulillah, you are here. Not all of you, I believe, have to. I mean, okay. The point I want to make it is, like it or not, you are part of this rev, of this revolution, right? And the survey also says that, right? But the question is, to leverage, do you need to be a nerd? Uh, I have my own opinion, but I think I like this opinion. Again, I think these slides will be shared, so you can click on that. So I read this article few days back. They say, hey, the French is really making a lot of headway in AI. So they say the head of their top tech university says, forget about the STEM. Okay, it is not undermine STEM. I am a STEM professional and I love STEM and we love STEAM, right? Some of you may be familiar with, we want to enhance STEM with Allah awareness and we call it STEAM. So that is the way to go. But I think in the context of AI, you should not feel discouraged if you are not in the STEM area. That is the point here, because to make it useful, to make it really work for people, there are a lot of things beyond technology. So, and I like this quote: AI is now instilling every discipline the same way mathematics did years ago. And I also usually give the example of driving a car, right? It does not have to be a professional, although it could be. But everyone who wants to move from point A to point B has to learn driving. Similarly, computers, similarly, mathematics is the thing, right? So AI is now permeating through all the areas. So don't feel bad if you are if you don't know what is Gen AI, if you don't know Kubernetes, if you don't know this and that thing, right? I mean, there are a lot of ways AI will be part of your life, and you will be part of the AI revolution. Specifically, some of the skill this study came up with is, yeah, there is a debate that AI will kill the creativity, but there is also another side, right? If you want to make AI for good, you have to be creative. So there is another way of using your talent, innovation skills, in addition to the technology. And again, I think these pictures, I mean, there are a lot more details, but I think you have heard about the artificial intelligence, machine learning, then deep learning. So deep learning is at the core where things happen, where there is networks of neurons, neural network, just mimicking our brain, right? Eventually, that is another phenomenal thing that I really excites me, all these technologies. These are biologically inspired technologies, right? The way Allah has created intelligence, but this is artificial. That's why it is this. But so the deep learning is the at the core is a neural network of lots of computers interconnected, lot of computer nodes interconnected, right? And then that infrastructure, you come up with some machine learning algorithms so that they can learn from the environment, learn from your data, and then there is another wrapper of artificial intelligence, right? For particular specific context, a specific application, that again your problem statement would do that. But it is good to know this just this not Venn diagram, but this these circles. Okay, I like to uh, okay, what time it is? Like to spend around 10 minutes in so before that. Like to spend little few minutes in jotting down some of your ideas. Uh, Come on. Oops. I lost that. I lost. Yeah. Okay. So based did you get a chance to look at the problem statement? Anyone? So we like to go through this. Okay. I need your help in doing this. I'd like anyone to come up with some topic that is within the problem statement and like to work through. Anyone? Any brave soul? Talking about brave soul, I'm actually reading a book now. I don't know whether you can see it. It is called Brave New Worlds by Salman Khan, the Khan Academy founder. So this book is about AI in education. Very interesting. Again, he already has a tool with the Khan Academy. Okay, I'm digressing. um, Anyone would like to volunteer for a topic you'd like to tackle in this hackathon? Yes? Hello? Okay, if not, okay. So let me start with one, and then so one of them again. Anyone, please. I really like to get some comments, feedback. That the question is just throw a few words of a title that you'd like to work with in this hackathon. I know we'll have a lot of time to brainstorm, but just where do we stand now? Anyone? Yes? No? Anything on the
What if
chat?
we had an idea for like an AI that would teach non-Muslims about Islam?
Okay. Teach non-Muslims about Islam. So in particular, I think okay. I think what you need and what is in line with this hackathon competition is we have to the land has to be the true knowledge, right? True knowledge is the important, right? What is truth and what is falsehood? So there are a lot of information the non-Muslims are bombarded with, and your AI tool would be able to discern the falsehood, and then it will show this is false and this is truth, and then it will teach that way, right? And there are a lot of components involved, right? Abid, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, yes. And again, so one aspect of that is maybe to identify the falsehood, right? And then falsehood as well as truth, and then spread truth, right? Okay, so let me actually break it down into two parts, maybe. So one is only on the detection part. So the primary AI task for this one would be, and again, I think this type of brainstorming, I'm just giving you one example. You have to ask based on the problem what type of thing you will do. So because now the way we are doing, I think one of the tasks would be really break it down into specific AI tasks. So that's why I keep this one to just identifying the falsehood and then promote truth, identifying the falsehood and promote truth, right? Okay. Ah, all right. So this is kind of this called the one aspect of AI is so okay. Before that, I think all of us. How many of you use Chat GPT? How do you answer this question? How many do not? How many do not use Chat GPT? Is there anyone, any brave soul here that's saying I have not done that? Okay, sorry, I'm not a fan of Chat GPT, but any tool like Chat GPT, it could be Google Gemini, or any other tool. The reason I am asking this question is so ChatGPT, as you know, you ask a question and it gives you the text. You ask for an write an essay for my midterm, and it will give you the essay, right? It generates the text. It generates so it is coming up with an essay, right? So that is the text generation, or you ask for coming up with a logo, it generates a design, graphics, right? So that is the generative aspect. There is another aspect which is really the predictive aspect, the classification, right? So classification or detection. So in the 3 p.m. class, in the Edge AI, I believe Dr. Hassan will be talking about detecting video, detecting human, for example, in a live video, right? So that is the detection part. That is not really the generation part, right? So you have to understand because the technology will be different for all these, right? Now, the technology that is involved, again, you will hear, and I believe there is also, I think Brother Anwar will be talking about natural language processing. That is a key core area technology of doing all these things. Because, hey, I mean, you are talking about an article someone wrote about Islam, right? Or Muslim, whether that is right or wrong, your AI will do that, but your AI has to have the ability of understanding natural language, and that is the whole area of um, LLM. Anyone knows what LLM stands for? You can put in the chat box if you know. Okay, Hamza. Right? Okay. Yeah, you can speak out or put it in the chat box. LLM,
I'm pretty sure it's large language model. I'm not sure that
large
something like
language model, right? Yes,
model,
yes,
something
that
like
is
that.
correct.
Yeah.
Large language model. So basically, these are language model, and not only English, Bangla, or Urdu, Pashtun, all those. So what it does is, again, we are not going to the details of the technology. Essentially, it looks at, analyzes some large text, and then it has the ability to understand some of the context, then summarize, and whatever way based on your prompt. And that's why there is an area now called prompt engineering. Maybe you have to do a PhD in prompt engineering. So it is going to that direction, right? Beyond, above and beyond search. Okay, so LLM or the language model. So it has to understand the language model. You have to. I mean, NLP is the area really, right? Okay. Oops, sorry. Let me go through something here. Oops, sorry. And then uh, to understand, so NLP, and then there are some framework based on NLP. Something called that. Again, I am giving some example. These are not. I do not have any fascination, or I am not paid by any company or anything. But these are the technologies people use, right? What is another technology in line with TensorFlow that helps you come up with this generative AI model and other things? Anyone? Starting with Pi. Anyone heard about PyTorch? Okay, so these are the frameworks to develop, right? And then again, in this case, there are some classification things involved, and if you have to deploy as a web application, then you need something called Django web framework if you want this to be a web application, because this could be a web application. But if, and there are many different ways. It could be, if it is an agent, for example, agent means it is monitoring what is going on in the social media. So let's suppose you want to do something, you have developed something for the non-Muslims, and then you want to monitor how good your tool is, right? So if you want to monitor, you may monitor the comments, right? So for that one, you have to come up with something that can do that. So that is called agent. So that is a different type of AI technology you need to make an agent. Okay. So again, I'll not go through more into that. But I think my point is, when you have an idea, you have to break it down into solvable problem. Some level of granularity you have to use. Maybe you want to do 2 and 3 things, but break it down into 2, 3 things that it does not conflict. And then each of you can look at one thing and then say, what is the primary task that is needed? Maybe some of them would be just content generation, right? So if in your dawa, for example, you have to come up with some customized dawa for this type of non-Muslim group, right? Staying in this part of the world, they might have different tastes, talking this language, right? So you have to give all those as prompt and then come up with the content generation, right? To give you the dawa material, right? It could be content generation, or it could be graphic generation, because you don't want to give it in text. You want to give it in nice. They call, what is this, infomercial, right? Like a commercial or graphic design. So depending on what type of AI task, your technology would be different. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say here. Now, whatever area you are in, again, these are few of the steps that you have to go through: AI, predictive AI, generative AI, just learning all those things. And some of you already know, but hopefully you will get to know more. So it could be, what I'm showing here is these are different ways you can leverage AI technology that is there, that the big tech companies, the NVIDIA, Google, Facebook, Microsoft are doing. How do you leverage those, right? Well, you can develop your new AI models for your Dawa work that you said, right? You can come up with new framework like the PyTorch or something, right? You can come up with new apps, or you can just customize. There is a technology called RAG. It is called retrieval augmented generation. It is one specific kind of generation where, again, you will learn. I believe Brother Rizwan and some others will be giving a presentation on how do you use RAG using some I think they'll be using Hugging Face. That's the interface that I heard. So again, that again, pay attention to all those workshops. You are really learning all those things. So the RAG is, so when you ask ChatGPT, it gives you some answers, right? And it looks at the whole knowledge base that it has. But you want something very specific. You want to see whether there is any reference in the Quran or Hadith, right? So you want to limit the search. And that is kind of what RAG does. It is called retrieval augmented generation, meaning it is limiting, it first retrieves the relevant document based on your prompt. So it uses your prompt as a filter to retrieve some subset of the documents, and then it fits. So you can imagine that answer would be better than just searching the whole database, right? So that is kind of, again, I just simplified it. That is kind of what RAG is. Again, you will learn RAG using the Hugging Face technology, and most of you may not have heard about it. But that's why we have those workshops. And then the next thing is, no, maybe for this hackathon, you may not. So hopefully you will be doing some customization using Hugging Face. So that Hugging Face basically gives you the interface to a lot of different framework, technology, configure, customize, and or you can just configure fine-tuning GPTs. For example, if you want the GPT to use a text generation GPT to work only as a detection, then you can configure some parameters. And then there are, we call the turnkey solutions. Again, I just for fun, I use some of those, and actually this interesting. I use this tool called ideogram, and you give an idea and it gives you a logo, right? So I have been struggling with getting logo for some of my initiative for years. We had some, but I really liked what I got from here. I said, okay, create me a logo that does this and this and this. Again, all those things will be useful in your DAWA material also. So yeah, my point is, in this hackathon, you may use something that is already available to solve some of your problem. Maybe just create some DAWA brochure, right? You can just use this, but then you can configure some of the tools available. You can customize, you can develop. Hopefully, customization and development, some of you who might be interested in carrying it forward for a research internship, inshallah, you can work for longer time. But in this hackathon, you can just come up with some quick and dirty solution using some of the turnkey solution or some just configuring here and there. And so there will be workshop on the Hugging Face. There will be a workshop on the stable diffusion, as I saw, and then the video creator. All those things, inshallah, you'll learn more. Okay. So again, this is in just a continuation of what I just said. You have to and throughout those workshop, inshallah, you learn those. A different perspective now. Let me. This is for. I have some personal uh, interest in fake detection, media verification. So last few years, actually, some of the cool summer program interns did some homework, just understanding what it is. But I think you can take it to the next step. Again, some of the references are here if you want to learn more. And this is one of the areas, again, I personally am interested in. We would like to do something. Okay, then, okay. Okay, so the other side, okay, so Alhamdulillah, you will be learning technology, you will be doing the GPT, APT, you will be coming up with models, developing, customizing, that everyone else in the world will be doing. But inshallah, there is another aspect of AI, like GAI, it is called RAI, responsible AI. And this is actually, okay, so this is because we know AI solution could be irresponsible, biased, unethical, misused, right? I think I asked the question before. What are some of the reasons it could be biased? Anyone? Going. Yes, Hamza. Why?
Like the language parts like LLM, like how it receives its data, that data might be biased. Like if it, like Google AI receives its stuff from Reddit, and sometimes that's biased, sort of.
Okay, good. So you, if I understood it correctly, you talked about the data because AI is about training the model using the data, and data is the key, right? So there is a saying in this machine learning world. It is called garbage in, garbage out, GIGO. That means if your data is bad, your outcome is bad. If your data is good, your outcome is good. So that is critical. And this is a fair criticism of AI that the data that it is trained with, that could be biased to a specific group, a specific location, a specific geography. So that is everybody acknowledges that is an issue. And then it could be actually the algorithm itself could be biased. If you are writing a program, there are a lot of if then else statement, right? There are a lot of thresholds. So all those parameters actually part of the algorithm. So algorithm itself could be biased. And then the framework like ChatGPT or Gemini, right? I mean, those framework that uses the algorithm, those could be biased as well in using the tools in making the conclusion out of the algorithm, right? So that itself could be biased. So there are a lot of ways things could be biased, unethical, and it could be misused, right? A AI tool that is used for some benign hospital situation could be used in the war field, right? So again, because of this, there was a survey Gallup did with the university. 79% of the Americans don't trust businesses to use AI responsibly. So that is a concern, right? And to take care of the concern, there is actually a very wide initiative called Responsible AI. You just click on that. I'm not going to that now, but it is huge. There are a lot of efforts going on. I mean, see, it is not that nobody is doing something, but my point is the issue is there, the solutions are there, but we have to go beyond. And I really like what it says here. Do you agree? Any Everyone agrees with this? So why don't we do something about natural stupidity? What is natural stupidity? So that is just coining across artificial intelligence. So if you want to leverage the best out of artificial intelligence, we really, really have to do something about natural stupidity. Uh, all of us in agreement, right? I think that is where, in addition to the technology, that is where the Muslims can contribute more, because I think one of the worst natural stupidity is people don't understand the creator, right? People don't know get the need for the creator. I mean, okay, they are making those things and then forget that this is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it has to be. So the belief that we have, the treasure of belief that we had, I think we can address that natural stupidity, and that has to be clear. If we cannot address that natural stupidity, then their AI will be irresponsible, AI will be biased, AI will be unethical, immoral, right? And we know again, some of you can take this as a project, which is may not be very technology oriented, but there are the European Union, USA, Department of Defense, Vatican. They are actually all are just rushing to get some ethics boundary, right? And I looked at some of those. Wow, I mean, they are all Islamic, they are all Muslim, okay? Those ethical principles to make good use. So, I mean, we have the upper hand there. I mean, it is the Muslims who have to lead that effort. So, getting the best out of AI while being prayerful and faithful, I think that's the way to go. So again, we will be using learning technology, creating cool tools, but we have to keep in mind that it has to be responsible. Okay, I have a few minutes. So again, bottom line is we must make ourselves ready for the opportunities and challenges. We have to make the best use of the opportunity, but not forgetful about the challenges. And I like this quote from this book of Salman Khan. Again, he's the founder of Khan Academy. She said the countermeasure for every, so there are some perceived risks, right? Not perceived, there are some real risks. Is not slowing down. We cannot say, hey, AI is plagued with this problem, just don't use it. No, it is ensuring that those favoring liberty and empowering humanity have better AI than those on the side of chaos and despotism. So, I mean, which side Muslims are in? Muslims are for this favoring liberty, favoring empowering humanity, right? That is our mission. That is why we think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us, right? For the benefit of the for the benefit of the mankind, right? We are the Khalifa. So inshallah, we have to take the helm and we have to have this AI mindset. So with that, I hope again the objective was to give you some overarching ideas, and then when you look at the problem statement and think about it, what is the mindset you should have, and how do you do the brainstorming, and just how do you narrow it down. I hope that have been useful. With that, I'll just end right here. Any question anyone has? Any question? Come on, there has to be some question.
Jazakallah
Yeah.
khaira, Dr. Farid.
Okay.
Right on time. I know Dr. Najam Hassan is here. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Najam.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
If you can turn on your video if possible, that would be great, inshallah. Otherwise, that's fine. So again, those of you who joined, appreciate it for joining. Alhamdulillah, I see a lot of names here. I want to, before I turn it to Dr. Najam, inshallah, Dr. Najam will introduce himself. He's a professor here at one of the university. And he will talk about, as Dr. Farid said, that on the edge AI, if I have not misunderstood. But before I'm turning it on, let me